Hi everyone, it's Liz from Crafting with Nani. How are you today? So this is Monday and we're going to start a new journal. You see that red live button, that means we're live. If you don't see a red one, that means you're watching a replay, which is fine. If you can just push hashtag replay on it, then I can know that you're watching. I'm going to try and bring myself up on my other computer and see if I can find me. So if I lose comments, I can read them over here because, oh, there I am. I like it when it works. So let me get rid of my volume before I click in there. And then, so when you get on, let me know that you're watching. Hi, Becky. Thank you for watching. Coming on. We're going to start our new journal today. I am kind of looking forward to it. I wanted to show, I use this when I do my glue. It's from the Cricut. Hi, Penny. Thank you for coming on. I use this to spread instead of like a spoon when I'm doing the glue. And the reason why I like it is I thought I would do it. I was going to start doing it, and then I thought, no, let me show it. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for coming in. But when you let the glue dry, hi, Linda. Thank you. It just peels right off. Now watch it make a liar out of me, but it'll just peel right off so you can use it again and again. Maybe if I put my glasses on. But usually I'll just roll it up from the bottom or the top. It really doesn't have that thick of a layer on it, but I just wanted to show how it'll just literally peel off. Hi, Linda. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Penny. I'm so excited about starting this new journal. But anyways, it just peels right off, and then you can just keep using the same one. And I think, I'm not, I have a Cricut, but I'm very new to it because it's my daughter's old one. I bought her for when the kids were little. But I'm not sure what, maybe to pull off the stickers or something, I don't know. But I like it for spreading my glue. So what has everybody been doing today? So I got some chipboard. I just pre-cut it. And then I'm making a 2 1/4 inch spine. So I have the 3 pieces already cut. It actually, this is one piece, and then I cut this part off of another piece. So I'm gonna turn the camera down so everybody can see what we're doing. And we'll just go from there, and hopefully I don't lose anybody. But I was going over, I had debated whether to do another farm journal right now or to do a staying out of the heat. Well, that's good. Yeah, it's kind of, it's in the 90s here, but the wind's blowing really hard, so it's kind of keeping it down to where it doesn't feel that bad. Hi, Jill. Thank you for coming in. But, like I said, we were debating on whether or not to do a flower journal or to do a farm journal, and the flowers won. And I had this material. This is the material I made my kitchen, hi Lori, curtains out of. I made my kitchen curtains, and this is leftover material, and I really love it. It's, like gardening with the flowers and stuff. So I thought I was going to use that, and then I did have, this came to me, I think in a Happy Mail, and I was thinking about maybe using this, but then I thought, no, I don't want to use that. And then I was looking through my stuff, and I had, somebody gifted me this, and I thought, well, maybe I'll use that. And then I said, no, maybe I'm not going to use that. It's, it got little bees. It's more, childish a little bit. It's cute. Don't get me wrong, it's cute. It's got the little bugs and all that kind of stuff. Hi, Linda Brown. How are you? And then I had this one. And orange is my color. I love orange more than anything. And this reminds me of our wallpaper we used to have when I first married my husband, actually, on our walls in our kitchen. Hi, Carol. Thank you for coming in and watching. I was really going to use this up until I found the material that I had left over from making my kitchen. And when I saw it, I knew this was the right thing. You know how when you see something, you just know what the right, you just know it. So this is the one we're going to use. So I did pre-cut the cover, and I think I'm going to line it with the same material. So we got a lot of gluing to do. So all I did was take off the, I don't know what this is called. It, you know, what it tells you, it's actually farmhouse flowers. Do not use for making pajamas out of, because, you know, kids' clothes can't be made out of everything. So, hi, Jody Ann, how are you? Jody Ann got her book. She loves it. So anyways, we're going to start. So like I said, I just want to make sure that I'm going in the right direction. I'm going to lay this out. I did put a piece of felt on there, and I'm debating whether or not I want the bulk of the felt. Once again, we're starting a journal from scratch. Can't get much scratchier than this, right? So, look, actually, Jody Ann's actually talking on it. She always watches, but she doesn't usually comment. So I'm going to lay it down. The only thing I'm debating right now is if I want that extra, you know, bulk on the top and the bottom. And it's really not a very thick flannel or whatever felt. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it on. And I'm not gonna felt. I say I'm not, but we'll see if we do. Hi, Jamie. Thanks for coming on and watching. Did I miss anybody? I'm good. I don't know how everybody else is. I think half of the United States is under a heat wave, apparently. So we do need to trim the corners so we can get a nice, can everybody see? I'll turn that just a little bit. I need to move me over. I have my dogs in, and hopefully they won't start barking. But we need to miter our corners so we don't have all that bulk in the corner. So I'm just spacing out the center spine. Like I said, I did cut the spine at 2 inches and a quarter. Hi, Linda Fletcher. How are you? Hi, Michelle. Thank you for coming on. So I am going to go ahead and use my good scissors, only because it's fabric. And we're just going to take, I'm just going to go in the corner and then up, away. You know, we're just taking that off of the corner. And that's called mitering. And I know you all know how to do it, because you all make journals. So I'm going to go this way. And that just keeps that corner from having a gigantic, you know, bulky corner. So is everybody else having the wind with the heat like we are in Texas? Oh my goodness. The wind has been nonstop for a week now, I think. And Jody Ann, or her husband, he's a landscaper, and I feel so bad because the people that have to work in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, hi Barbara, thank you for coming in. I'm going to put the glue on this and then lay it down because it'll be easier for me to do that. And the fabric pretty much sticks to the felt, so I'm not even sure I need to put glue on the other side, but we'll wait and see. We'll see if that. Barb's in Southeast Texas. What city in Southeast, or what city? Laurel's here and Cindy's here. Okay, we gotta get gluing. This hour screams, right? Look at that glue-icky. Look at that glue-icky. I don't know why it does that. So I'm just going to put a bunch of glue on here, and I mean a bunch. Oops, I went over the edge. I got my nails done. Did anybody see? No more purple. Woo, I did a light orange. Nobody picked the color either. Actually, they reversed it, and I was going to have the lighter color on my nails and the darker color on my toes, and when I handed them the bottles, apparently I did it in reverse. But I kind of like it. So I'm just trying to make sure I get all the way to the corner and all the way to the edge. It's kind of like frosting a cake. And if you get like air bubbles in it, then your fabric's not going to lay good. And you're going to get ripples. I can't believe it's already Monday already. I'm just going to smash that down so we don't have a hard bubble. And then I'm just going to place the glue side down onto this felt. And I just laid it at just a tad bit too high, but that's okay. I'm just pushing it down. Hi there, Jimmy Lou. How are you today? So I'm going to then do the spine. And I know I'm kind of doing this upside down, but it works better for me to put the glue down and have it flat on my table and then flip it over. So I'm just going to take this tool again, this spatula, and spread it out just like I'm crust. What do they say? Crust to crust. You can tell I watch a lot of Food Channel. A lot of the Food Network channel is my favorite. That and Maine cabin. I like to watch them build the cabins in Maine for some reason. I like that family. So I'm just making sure I get all the way to the corners. And then I want to make sure that I have enough room. So I'm just taking the other board and laying it there just so I know that we have enough room. And I'm just judging it out just a little bit. Just so that way it'll give you that, so it bends. And then I can eye this side because I have that one to look at. So I'm just pushing them down. You got mauve nails. Ooh. That's neat. Hi, Barb. The Netherlands. Oh, I don't know where that is. Oh, by the Louisiana. So are you down by, I don't know. Jody Ann, help me. Where's that place that we like to go? Galveston. How far is Galveston from you? Jody Ann's going to Galveston, I think, next week. I have not been to Galveston. I have a couple shirts because she brought me back some shirts. But I have not been to Galveston. I want to go to Waco. It's like one of my places I want to go in Texas. I need to start, being a tourist in my own state. So I'm just lifting this up so I can get the edges really good. And I think I need to add just, woo, this glue is, normally I don't smell this glue, but today, woo, I'm smelling it. Now I know what Larry talks about, because normally this glue does not bother me at all. But today, I just got a whiff of it. And I feel like I could get a buzz off of that. No. Lay down. Down. If you don't lay down, you're going out. Mister? I have one dog that almost minds. No. My standard poodle minds really well. He's almost 4. The other, not so much. We should meet up, Carol, we should meet up we should go to Waco. Everybody meet up in Waco. We can go shopping or just looking around. I don't need to buy anything. I just want to go see it. I want to go to that Magnolia store. And so now that we have it down, Jimmy Lou's probably going, girl, it's not how I taught you how to do this. No. And I'm just going to flip it over, or, lift it up. And then I just want to make sure I don't really have any major wrinkles on this side. So I'm just kind of straightening it out. Like I said, I almost feel like I don't need to put the glue between here and here because the fabric sticks to it so well. And I think if I add glue to it, it's going to seep through. So I'm not going to. We're just going to try it. You know, we can only learn from, you know, trying new things. So I'm going to put glue along this strip. See how I know how you can't even see. So I'm going to put glue, I'm going to not glue this, I'm going to put glue right here and then bring this down and hold it, you know, put it tight. Now if I had some really clean lines, I might do the reverse like Jamie did last night. If anybody caught Jamie, Crafting Time with Jamie 2, she did a reversed border and it looked good, but she had really clean lines. You love the fabric? I love it too. It's on my kitchen. It's one of my pictures of me. It used to be on my old page. Maybe I'll put it back. It was me like this in front of my kitchen curtains that I made myself. So I'm going to put a strip of glue down here. But once again, I'm going to glue onto the cardstock. And I got this from Amazon. And I wasn't sure if I even ordered the right stuff because you know what? I didn't realize there's different weights on it. And if Jimmy Lou's still here, what weight would you recommend for your cardstock or for your chipboard? That would be a good Jimmy Lou question. That's what I always say. WWJD. What would Jimmy Lou do? And when I ordered it, I didn't even realize it came in different weight. And I thought, ugh. And I just ordered it. And, if I can reach the box, I don't know if it's on the box that says the weight. But I'm just pushing that down. And we are going to put fabric inside, but I don't want the bulk of the felt. So I'm just flipping it over. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, if you can see. 65 pound. Okay, I think that's what I got. Let me see if I can get my drawer open. Let me see. But it's just, you know, see, that doesn't even say on this box. That's what I was thinking. I think it said it on the package that came in. Okay, ladies, 65 pound if you're gonna buy chipboard. And because the chip, like if you were using, like say, I've done it with cracker boxes and stuff like that, but this feels thicker than what the cracker boxes feel. That's the reason why I was asking Jimmy Lou that question, is because it actually feels pretty thick. Not as thick as cardboard, but it is a very thick chipboard. But I think it was 65 pounds. So, but it's nice. I'm all for, recycling, cracker boxes and all that good stuff. So I'm just taking my outside and I'm bringing it in. And we're gonna hope that we don't need to glue, because if we do, it's gonna be too late because I just glued down. Hi, Janet. There's my aunt. Yes, I got my nails done. No more purple. I don't know if I'll ever have purple fingernails again. I'll do my toes, but I don't think I'll ever do my fingernails in purple. That was over the top for me. So I like that. I'm still making sure that we got a good bend. And so now we have to do the edges. So I'm still going to, because I can get all the way to there, so I'm still going to just put the glue on the chipboard instead of the fabric. I find that if I do it on the fabric, it kind of seeps through more. And if I do it on the felt, I just get so much fuzz on my little spatula that I can't even. I know Jimmy Lou, I told her I went out to Chinese buffet for my birthday. And she goes, "Did you get a spoon?" And I'm like, "They didn't have any spoons." Because it was like a buffet. And they had metal spoons. And I don't think they would have been too happy if I took their metal spoon. But yeah. So I don't have a spoon, but I really like I said, I really like this spatula. I know I put a little glue right there, but that's okay because we're gonna cover this. And I work better if I put it in front of me, so I'm just gonna turn it around. And we're gonna go through a bottle of glue today, I think. No. So, how has everybody's weekend been? Did everybody get done what they wanted to get done? I went with my daughter after church. They like to kidnap me. And we went and had like a little brunch. And then they said, okay, let's go get our nails done. So we all went, and my son-in-law too, he got his manicure and he got a pedi. And so the family was there. We had all 4 generations actually there. The 4th generation was not, he was sleeping. He's only 4 months old, so he didn't get anything. Now I do have this little tip right here, and I'm gonna try and see if I can get that pushed in, maybe with my scissors. It didn't quite get all the way in, so I'm just gonna kind of tuck it in and maybe put a little bit more glue there. Just because we want really nice, I try to sell these, kind of deal, so I want them to look, I know it's a junk journal, but I don't want it to look junky. Does that make any sense? Hi, Debbie, how are you? So I want to make sure that when this goes to somebody else, that I'm proud of it, kind of deal. So I want my corners to look good, is what I'm trying to say. Even this one has a little bit, but I'm going to put lace on the edges, and lace covers up everything. And then I think Jimmy Lou saw it, and someone said if you tap your corners, that kind of helps too. But we're not going to play too much because we got to let this dry. And now we have to do the inside. I better put my cap on my glue before we have a glue avalanche. But anyways, we ended up, from church, I went and got our nails done, and then, we went and ate, and then we got our nails done, and then they said, oh, we got to go to Sam's Club, and then we went to Sam's Club, and then I'm like, oh my goodness, my horse is supposed to eat at 4, I'm not even home, and they're all like, your horse is going to be fine, don't worry about it, and because I kind of freak out about my horse, I don't know. So then we ended up at home like at 5:30, and my husband's like going, dinner, where's dinner? And I'm like, I text you and told you to start dinner. He didn't see his text. So I'm just going to cut this out, and I'm debating if I want to go all the way up to the edge or leave a little bit of a border. Now I know this is why some people like to tuck this one in over this one, but I don't mind having a little bit of the fray because this is a garden, it's a flower book, and I think I like that. So I think I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut before we glue it down, and I'm going to try my best. I wish I had that cutting machine that Jimmy Lou has. She's got all the neat tools. Hi, Penny. I know, same thing, junk, right? You want it to be a junk journal, but you don't want it to look like, came out of a trash can. But, I mean, I don't mind using literally junk in my journal. And I have used what some people would call junk. So I'm going to try and go as straight as I can. I'm not the straightest cutter, believe me. Like I said, I wish I had that tool that Jimmy Lou has. It's almost like the cutting board that you use to cut your papers with, but it cuts fabric. And I'm telling you, if you were a quilter, you would pay some bucks for that thing. So I think we did okay there. And I'm just going to turn it this way so I can get this cut. And we'll use these scraps, for maybe like some pockets or whatever. And I am using my good ones, but there's no glue on them. So don't call the scissor police on me. Okay, so we have that. And I'm happy with it. We're just going to make sure I'm going to make sure, we are all going to make sure, me, myself, and I, that I didn't flip anything. Jamie's didn't rip straight last night. I was heartbroken for her. Thank you, Jimmy Lou. This is my kitchen curtain material. I made kitchen curtains when I first got the house, and they're still up. And this was left over from my curtains. So I love this fabric. So I think I like it. I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to flip it and make sure that everything's facing the right way. And this time I'm going to start, I think, in the center and work my way out so I have no bubbles anywhere. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to put tons of glue down. And I hope it doesn't seep through. Anybody, did I miss anything? Yeah, no, I'm not ripping it. Because sometimes it will rip, like last night, like we were saying, that Jamie's didn't rip straight, and that's one reason why she had to do a reverse border. And turned out darling, because it looks like it had an edge, you know, like a picture frame. But it ripped a good ½ inch up on the corner down here on her journal last night. So, yeah, no ripping it. I mean, if we were making a tassel, and we might make a tassel later, I'll rip it then. I will rip it then, but not until then. So I'm just kind of covering that spine because I want to make sure that, you know, we got to sew through this, and we got to make sure that, see, this is what I don't understand too, is I get that. See how it bubbles right there? I really don't know how to prevent that bubble. I really don't. Other than I'm going to put a lot of glue and I'm going to smooth it out. And hopefully that, like Jamie's here, so she can vouch for how it didn't rip straight. So I'm going to put quite a bit of glue, and I'm going to see if I can prevent that from doing it. And I think the next bookmakers, I'm going to ask Jimmy Lou about that and say, hey, what causes that ripple right there? Is it because you don't have enough glue? Is it because you have too much glue? But even when I do it with paper, I think when I do it with paper, I get it even more. But boy, this glue is seeping through that material. And I'm just going to make sure that's smooth with my spatula because, like I said, I don't have the felt on this one. And we're just going to smooth it out like wallpaper. And I used to wallpaper a lot. I don't know why people don't wallpaper as much as they used to. My brain comes up with the craziest things when I'm doing on here. I'm like, do you have wallpaper in your house? I would love some wallpaper. But I love wallpaper. So it looks good now, but see, when I go to fold it up, it does that ripple. Why? Why does it do that? Maybe you just have to leave it laid down. Jimmy Lou, you still on? Why does it do that? She's a busy lady. I doubt she's watching the whole thing. But it drives me insane when I get that ripple. I do need to put a little bit more glue here on the edge because we don't have all the glue down here. Or Jamie, do you know? A bone folder. Okay, I have a bone folder. Like put it in the edge there. I don't know. I have a bone folder though. Take my tool and run it down the crease. This one with the glue on it, or the bone folder? Let's do the bone folder. Well, that helped a little bit. Okay, let's get the glue on this side, and maybe it just has to set, and we'll see. Oh, it would be, you know what, Jill, if you find that, you let me know, because I don't even think, unless you go to an interior designer, I don't even think they sell those, you know, you don't see them like at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that. But I'm sure interior design, I haven't even seen an interior design store in years. You know, they used to be all over the place, like in California, they were everywhere. But where I live in Texas, I have not seen an interior design store. So I am going to put a little bit more glue under that. And it is pretty saturated in glue, so maybe I'm just using too much glue. I don't know. I don't know. I've only been really doing this, you know, for a little over, well, it's been almost 2 years now, I guess. So I'm just going to, you know, really rub it in. And I'm going to go ahead and, like they said, we'll try and do that, because this portion right there just irks me. It irks me. And I'm always having to try and cover it up with something, you know. But like I said, it does seem to do it worse with paper than it does with material. So there we go. See, it's still doing it there. So maybe I need to pop a little bit more glue right here, because I was able to lift that up. So that's one reason, I'm sure. Whoever gets this book is going to get lots of glue. We're going to have to add $7 or $8 for a bottle of glue. No, I'm just teasing. Hi, Rebecca. That's my beautiful, beautiful niece that lives actually in London. Her last name is London, but she happens to also live in London. And I want to come see her so bad. Your cousin, Rebecca, Wendy, is leaving tomorrow to go to Holland. And then they're going to be going down the Rhine River. So drive over there. No, I'm just, I have no idea how far you are from there. But I love my niece. She's a beautiful, beautiful girl. I have the one picture I post all the time that shows my two little ones in it, and there's a little curly haired girl in that picture. That's her. They grew up together until they got older. They were always together when they were little. I'm just adding a little bit more glue to that corner right there. So, okay, so I'm just gonna set this aside. Like I said, I still have a little bit of that ripple right there that's not making me a very happy camper. Oh my, it's gonna take forever to get this. Oh, she loves me too. Oh. She used to live in Texas, and then I moved to Texas, and she moved to London. What's up with that? But her mom still lives in Texas, I think. All right, I'm just gonna snip a little bit of this. But thank you for watching. What time is it in London right now? It's gotta be bedtime for you guys. Okay, let's just set this aside before I have it ripped apart, before I even get it dried. And we'll go over the papers that I have. Right? Sound like a plan, guys? That's what we got so far. And that's our spine. Like I said, it's 2 1/4 inch spine. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for watching. And Cheryl, and Barb says it's 8:30 at night. Oh, she has a beautiful baby girl named Katniss. But I think it looks good. I'm happy with it. I think I'm happy with it. But we're gonna let it lay flat, I think. Unless somebody says no. So I'm gonna set it over here. And where did I put all the papers? Where did I put the papers? So this is the papers that I pulled out. And I figured nobody wants to see me cut around the edges of the papers. So I did all of that ahead of time. And it's gonna take me, like, I just got my nails done yesterday and I just glued them up today. I'm telling you, if my hands are not in red dirt, they're in glue. And you guys don't want to see that. Okay. So these are the papers I pulled. I have some dyed coffee filters that I dyed years ago, and I just still have a stack of them. And how's our time going? Okay, we still have 20 minutes. We might be able to get this put together and maybe sewed in. I don't know. So I have, these are some extra papers I have. Let me get this glue thing out of the way before I end up with glue all over. So I have a piece of vellum, and I found this cute little piece of vellum in my stash, and I love that. I wish I would have had two. Oh, thank you for kicking out my cow patties. Let's get this good Sarah scissors off of my table now. And some of the pages I got from Lisa Siegel's page. Some of them I got off of just the free download off of Facebook. And some of them are scrapbook paper, and some of them music sheet papers. So it's an assortment of all kinds of different stuff. So let's try and build us some signatures. Now some of them I was able to print double-sided. And so we're just gonna stack it up and make two signatures. Hi, Jamie. Jill, you didn't come in on your, hi, Linda Fletcher. I think I'm going to open it up so I have everything facing the right direction. And my cutting board today did a little bite off of it. I'm not gonna worry about it because some of them are gonna have lace anyway, so I'm not gonna make a panic over it. But I have this page, which is really cute. And like I said, some of them, the majority of them, this is a single-sided one, so I'm gonna hold off on that one. I'm looking for double-sided ones right now. And I'm just making sure that my writing, even though it's not really legible writing, you can still tell whether it's up, down, you know, upside down or not. Hi, Deb. Thank you for watching. And so we got two. And then, like I said, I'm just trying to make sure my flowers are the right direction. And that one's awful close to this one, so let's put this one here. And this one's awful close to that, but we'll add some other stuff in between it. And this has got the writing going the right. Isn't that pretty? Doesn't that remind you of the 70s? I'm telling you. And then we got that one over here. And this is a single-sided, and I know that's a single-sided, and that's a single-sided. So I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to find the two-sided ones, just so we have it evened out. And that's a single-sided. Do I not have any more double-sided? Here's a double-sided, so we have this one. Ooh, look at that blue. Let's put, so both of them have one in it. And that just scream 1970s wallpaper. I'm telling you. I loved our wallpaper that we had in the kitchen. It was flowers. It was orange and yellow flowers. It was bold, it was bright, and it screamed the 70s. But my husband had it put up before I even knew him. So, okay, so now we're gonna go to single-sided one. So I know I have a separate one of these. I think they're dandelions, or you know, the ones that you wish on, which we have growing in our ranch. I have a picture somewhere of my daughter, and there was one that was about this big, and she was blowing it, and it was just beautiful. So here's another one. I'm just turning it the right direction. And then I found 2 of these that had writing on it. So I want to put one on one page and one on another one if I can find the other one. So here's another one that has like lines on it to journal on. And we'll still organize this different, you know, kind of deal. I'm just trying to make 2 piles. And these are, I cut everything 8 by 8. Hi, Maritza. Hi, Mary Ferguson. Let me go back and just to make sure. Oh, there she did. Jill came out on her page name. Hi, Maritza. Just making sure I didn't miss anybody. So, and then I have, this is some paper that I had purchased. And I put one of those in. I think there's another one of those. Maybe? Maybe not. We'll just put this, oh wait. Here's another 2-sided one. And then we're gonna, I know, I got off count now, huh? But that's okay. That's the same as that one. We'll make it, we'll count it. I'll definitely count it before I get done. This is some cardstock I have. And some regular paper. There's some more. Okay, so, and then we have a piece of vellum. And a piece of vellum. And we have this very bright cardstock. I don't think this one has any cardstock. This is cardstock, okay. And then I have some music sheet papers that were gifted to me. And all I did was fold them up and make pockets. And then I trimmed this. And I thought maybe I would do one with you guys to show how I cut the edge. So first of all, I gotta get the clippers. This one came out of a book like this, and I didn't really want that in here. So hopefully my nice cutter tool is going to cut nicely, because it was not cutting very nice earlier. So I just want to make sure that this is 8 inches. Like I said, everything right now is 8 by 8, except for, like, you know, a couple of the vellum. So that's 8. So we're gonna, and I just need to fold it to 8. So I'm just gonna lift this up. And if I go to my wand, I need to go to 9 to get an 8 inch. So I'm not starting at 0, I'm starting at 1, but I'm counting it to 9, which will still give me an 8 inch. So after I scored it like that, and then I've put it in half, I thought it was easier to just unfold it and then take this paper, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and put that little bit of a triangle in there. So that way it was super easy, and they're both exactly the same because you cut them at the same time. So, and then you have this leftover. So, I don't know. I just thought maybe I could show you something I do. Hi, Lisa. How are you today? I'm using some of your papers again. And Cheryl. I'm not sure what we're talking about, the bid. Oh, I know that there was the bidding going on at A Girl Who Loves Books had a bid. Maybe that's what they're talking about. So I have a book that it's like a cartoon book, and I thought it would be cute to add one of those pages. But I really have a problem, and it's just my problem. It's not, you know, other people can do it. Doesn't matter what you do. You do you, I'll do me. I don't like it when the pages are turned this way and you can't read what's on the page. So even though it's narrow, I'd rather have it narrow and be able to read it than to have it the right size and not be able to read it. I don't know. That's just me. Like I said, you do you. You know, everybody does this their way, and there's no right or wrong. It's a junk journal, so there's no you're not wrong or I'm not wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just because I like to be able to see it, that's just me. So I'm just making sure I can, you know, read the papers or whoever get them. So we have 2 of those comic books together. And then I had these that I bought, I think I got them from Temu. And all I'm gonna do is back these to each other and fold them as like they're one, because I'm gonna make them like a pocket. So I'm just gonna put them together, and we'll have that. And are we gonna get it sewed in? I don't know. Oh, we still have 15 minutes, so we might. So I have the same thing in this kind of paper, and I'm just making sure that the writing is the same. And we'll put that in there, and we'll make another pocket with it. So I will eventually glue those together. And then I have another set for the other one. And then we have our 4 doilies, and I think that's it. I think we're ready to sew in. And then on Friday, we'll start decorating this beauty. So I'm just making sure my flowers are not upside down with each other. Hi, Carol. Is it Carolyn? Thank you for coming in and watching. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already hit the follow button and follow, I hope that you like me enough to where you'll want to follow. And I'm just going to put one of each on here, and then I only had, well, I probably, if I dug hard enough, I could have found another one like that. But okay, so now we have our signatures, and I'm just going to sit this off. And then all of this stuff I'm going to move to the side, and we're going to try and find our opening page. You know, that's what we have to find, is what we want to have our first page. So we have this beautiful, I don't know, it's going to be so hard for me to decide which one I want as my opening page. But it is a flower journal, so it's definitely going to have a flower in it. So we have 3 of those pages that are double, so I'm gonna add that in there. Oh, I don't have any doilies in here. Do I have any doilies on my desk? I do. I do have a doily. Okay, so I'll add a doily. It's a little doily, but still, that's okay. And then we can add one of those, and that'll balance that out. And then we can put this page in, and then put that page in, and then I'm just trying, like the ones that are white to white, I'm just kind of, I don't want a bunch of white pages is what I'm trying to say. So I'm just kind of folding those into each other. And they'll make pockets out of them, you know, or do something with them. And then we have these 2 pages. And you know what? I think I have this one folded wrong, but they're 8 by 8, so it won't matter if I turn it, because this is lines for like journaling on. So let's do it like it's supposed to. And this is upside down. Most of the papers don't really have a, you know, the flowers. So we have our vellum. Let's stick our vellum in here between that one. And then we have these 2. And then I think I really would like to have that as my centerpiece, because this is a real pretty, that's one of my favorite flowers. So let's put this one in. And then we've got these. This is what we've got to sneak in here still. Did I already put the doily in this one, right? I could have sworn I put a doily in there. That doily goes over there. So I'm just trying to find a place to stick in our comic, which has nothing to do with flowers. Well, I don't know how it got in there, but it did. No rhyme or reasoning. And then we got 2 music sheets that have little pockets. So now I gotta find a spot over here to put a music. And then we've got one last coffee filter. All right, so we have one built. And then we'll just make sure when we sew it in that everything is put together nicely. Have I been missing any comments? Yes, it's a flower journal. If anybody's missing that, didn't start at the beginning. We chose flower journal. And then I might even try and, add some dried flowers or something like that to it later. So we have one down. Oh, do I want that as my opening? Wow, that's pretty bold to have it as my opening. So I think I'm going to move that. And I think I will put that there. And we'll have this as the opening. I'm like, well, that was bold. Just like, woo, that's a flower journal, all right. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a clamp on that, and we'll build the other one. It was like right out there, huh? Hi, Molly. How are you today? Hi, Linda. Thank you for saying hi to Molly. Hi, Linda Martin. How are you? We got Linda Martin and Linda Fletcher on. So we have to just make sure those are the same. And then we just got to find our opening statement, kind of deal. Oh, so hard to choose, huh? It really is sometimes hard to choose to see. I like the colors of that, so I think I will make that my opening. And then we'll put this pocket here. And they don't have to be exactly the same. They don't have to be the same at all. We'll put that there. And then, did I mention my boy's getting snippy snip tomorrow? I'm gonna get you a snippity snip. I wonder if he knows. Do you think dogs know that they're gonna go get snippity snip? Hey, down. Grover. Grover. Down. His name is Grover. He's named after my milkman that I used to have when my kids were little. My milkman, when my kids were babies in the 70s, my milkman's name was Grover Hines. And that's what he's named after. Because I said the milkman did it. I know, I'm silly. But that's what I named him. I think I want this as my centerpiece. But yeah, his name is Grover Hines. And his legal name is Grover's Party or something like that. It's Grover's Party, or I don't know. He's AKC, so but I want this as my center. I know that. So now we have to stick in another cartoon. We'll put that there next to the 70s, and I need to stick in this piece. We could put that there, and then we need to put a doily in. And I think I'm going to put the doily in where it's kind of short anyways, on a short page. And then we need to put 2 coffee filters, and then we will be ready to sew in if that is dry. If not, we can sew. I don't want to rush sewing. We only have 8 minutes. Ooh. Can I sew 2 of them in 8 minutes? I don't know. Is there anybody coming on after me right now? I think Jimmy Lou's coming on. Just trying to find a place and how that got missed. I don't know. All right, we'll put that one right here. Okay. So do I have another clip? My box of 10. My 10 has my clips in it. So we'll clip this one. All right, we can try and see if that cover is ready to sew in. And then that way we can say we got 2 signatures sewed in. Let's see if the book will fold. So we still have a little bit of a bubble right there, but I think once we sew this down, it'll be okay. So I think I want this as my second signature, so we'll set that off. And we have our first signature right here. Let me get my box of goodies out. You guys think we can do it? Aw, thank you for putting me in the Junk Journaling Jamboree. That was sweet of you. Hi, Roberta. How are you? You missed almost all of the live? Oh, my goodness. Well, you can watch the replay later. And then thank you for kicking out my cow patties. I do think they know when they go into the vet. And I've been trying to tell him he's going to get it taken off tomorrow. But I don't think they actually remove anything like they used to do in the old days. He's 4 years old. And you know, before anybody starts yelling at me, he had breeding rights. I bought him to breed. You know, he did his job. He's got probably, well, I know I got 30 puppies out of him myself. And then he went off as a stud. And she ended up, I think he did like another 100 babies. So he's done his job. He has definitely done his job. Like I said, don't be yelling at me. That's what he was meant. I paid extra money for him to do that. So he wasn't a backyard breeder, you know, junk. This is actually going to be, we're going to have lots of room to put laces and fun stuff on it because we've got a good inch. I probably could have cut this down a little bit because these are only 4 inches wide. And this is, I'm stalling, aren't I? Like, this is 5.5 inches. So we've got a good bit. All right, let's not stall anymore. Okay, so we got to pick a color that goes with this. I am liking this reddish color brown, because there's a lot of brown in there. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and some. I'm gonna keep that out so we have the same color. I'm gonna get our awls out. And if we only get one sewed in, that's fine. I'll sew the other one in on Friday. I am going to have a sale on Thursday. And I've got some new stuff, and I got some fabric bundles that we're gonna have. So if you're into the fabric, I'm just gonna go down the center of this, and I'm just finding, you know, the point right here. And I'm giving myself a good point. And I'm going to line this up. I know Jimmy Lou likes to use that but I didn't take the time to make it. So I'm just gonna go straight down my spine. And we're in. We're in like Flynn. Okay, so now we have to go down. And I'm gonna go up about 1 inch. My thumb is 1 inch. And then we're just gonna make sure that we are still straight. Where did I lost my? And this is where that template, if you had it, works great. But I didn't make one, and I didn't want to take the time. Actually, I had one for a 2-inch spine. Let's see if I'm close. So I'm pretty close to my hole. So let's see if we're lined up straight there. That looks good. So we just need to put one more in. And then I'm just making sure I'm still lined up straight. I'm gonna punch that. Make sure when you're punching it in, you don't punch it into your fingers because they are sharp as a dickens. And then before I actually put my material, you know, or my string through, I'm just making sure that I'm lined up and it looks good. So now I'm going to thread. Two and a half for 2 signatures. I did 2 1/4. Because I agree. I think it needs to have a little bit of room. I have a tendency to have chubby wubby ones. Hi, Joyful Rose. Thank you for coming in. I love it too. It's the leftover fabric I got from my when I made my kitchen curtains. And I just love it. So I'm just gonna get a needle out. There's a whole bunch of them. And I think this one is almost too wide. I'm just going to take one that's not quite as wide. The eye was really wide on it. So we'll see if we can get this one sewed in. Like I said, if I am at 4 o'clock, or it's 3 o'clock my time, I'm going to pull out my center awl, and I'm just going to go straight in and out, and that was perfect. And I always don't leave myself enough tail, and I like to go to the bottom because I can pinch and hold, and I don't let go, and I'm straight in. And sometimes my fingers don't always work. I have arthritis and osteoporosis like everybody else my age. And now we're going to come up here, and I'm going to hold this one, and I'll take that one out. We're going to go straight through. And now we have to find our center again. So we're going to, I just like to flip it over, find my hole. And then sometimes I have to take a peek, which is fine with me. I mean, it's your book. I think that's where sometimes if you use a sharper needle with the paper, I think it actually works better. And this one's kind of dull. So we're definitely not going to have time to do both of them. I lost my, just don't panic, you know, just keep going. It's fine. Don't panic. And we're in. So what the only rule to junk journaling is to have one tail on one side and one tail on the other. That's the only rule. So we've managed to follow the rules. Hi Anita, thank you for coming in. Thank you. I got most of these papers from Lisa Siegel's page, and then I did get a few of them from, and I'm just going to take a peek to make sure that we're good, and I'm glad I like that color. We could have gone with a blue, but this matches the wood tones, so I'm going to be okay with it. And we're just going to pull and make a tie, and then I think we will go ahead on Friday and we'll sew in the other signature because I've been over an hour. And let me see if I can read some questions before I gosh, can't even tie a bow. I can't tie a bow. Okay, so we got one in. So now all we gotta do is get the second one in, and we'll do that on Friday. So this is what we got. And I'm just gonna look at some of my, just to make sure I haven't missed anything. I just finished a Daisy Faith journal. Oh, that sounds beautiful, Anita. We're gonna actually put some Bible verses and faith pages and stuff in this book too. So, where did the fabric came from? The fabric came from, I'm pretty sure it came from Hobby Lobby. No, you know what? I'm pretty sure it came from Joann's, and it's not there anymore. But it is a popular, it says Farmhouse, and it's Flowears, and it's Susan Wynot, or Winget, Winget. And I can put that's the number off of it, which is CP69963. But I think I have seen it at all of the different fabric shops. It's a pretty popular cotton. So that we have our first one in, and we will go ahead and we'll sew the second one in on Friday at 2 o'clock. So I thank everybody for coming on and watching me, and I love this journey that we're going to be taking on the flowers. And like I said, I am going to add some spots to where maybe if you wanted to do some Bible journaling or anything, you can do that in the book. So this book is up for sale. I'd like to get $65 for it. And the last one I did took us 5 lives to make, so you have up until it's finished. But the first person that says they want it over the next couple of weeks will get the book. So I will talk. If you guys want the book, just message me. Like I said, the first person that says they want it will get it. And you don't have to say you want it before it's done. I understand completely. So, bye, Rebecca. She's saying, Auntie. She's my baby girl. All right. Well, anyways, you guys have a wonderful week. Don't forget, I will be live for my sale on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock Central Time. And we're going to sell some fabrics. This one won't be in there, but there's all kinds of cute fabrics I have that we're going to put up for sale. So, have a great week, you guys. Thank you for watching, and thank you for crafting with Nani. Bye-bye.